Prime Minister, do you think that these attacks were preventable? And if so, who has blood on their hands?
If it was known, certainly we could have prevented many of the attacks in the churches and had more security in the hotels. We could have prevented all the attacks, or at least reduced the number of attacks that could have taken place.
How many arrests has been made so far?
What?
How many arrests?
Police are making certain number, but I don't think it should be disclosed now.
Can you talk about the nationality of those arrested? Because
What?
reports...
So far, it's been Sri Lankan citizens who have been taken in for questioning.
So not a Syrian civilian?
What?
Not a Syrian? There's been reports of a Syrian person?
No, at the moment it's all Sri Lankan citizens.
And do you believe as well that the attack was in response to the Christchurch massacre? Or is that just an excuse that's being used to maybe deflect attention away from blame that's being focused on your government for the failure to prevent the attack?
The attack is one of the reasons. It's possible it could have been because of the Christchurch attack. We cannot say yes. I think the police, once they question, will say so. We will be able to find out.
Well, the defense minister said...
They traveled abroad. When you said they traveled abroad, where exactly did they go?
That's what we are searching for. They've been out there, so they may have gone to one destination and gone in from there. This is the assistance that we are requiring. You know, you can meet people in any part. You can meet them in London. You need not go to the Middle East.
Is there a link with the Tamil Nadu group, Tawheed Jamaat?
This is a small breakaway group, and the links are being there. All these issues have been raised, but we can't tell you immediately, definitely with whom they've had links.
But do you know for certain that they did go overseas? And if so, to which countries did they go?
What?
Do you know for certain that the suspects did go overseas? And
They have gone overseas. We have the details, so we are checking that up with the foreign help that we are having.
The alleged leader of this group that the government has said was responsible for these attacks made a series of videos over the years, and the Muslim Council says they approached the government, warning the government of the risk that this group and this individual posed. Why was nothing done, or what was done?
That's one of the issues to be inquired, but they had given it to the police, the relevant authorities.
Do you know if that man, Mulvi Zafran Hashim, do you know if he was one of the suicide bombers, or is he still on the run?
Yeah, he is suspected to be one of the suicide bombers. They have to confirm it.
And have you identified all of the suicide bombers, and how many of them were there?
Well, many of them have, some more have to be identified.
Sorry?
Many of them have been identified, but not all.
How many are, was it 6 or 7 suicide bombers?
Let's have a question mark over that.
And do you believe that other suspects are still on the run, or do you think you've got everybody?
Well, they are still looking out at who else is involved, because inquiries lead to other names.
Mr. Prime Minister, could you give us a sense of the timing of these attacks, and also, what exactly could you give us about, time of the protests, which is 10 years after the end of civil war?
Well, that is one issue that's over, and now we've got another issue here. It's like Northern Ireland is over in UK, but you've got other terrorism going on. Now, if you're going in for churches, this is the best time from their point of view. When the churches are crowded, Easter service is in the morning. There's no night service or something. Easter is basically a morning service that everyone attends, and then they must have timed it with the branches, which was also taking place. I don't know. This is only a speculation that people have, but there seems to have been a timing and look at the maximum participation.
It points to a larger aspect, Mr. Prime Minister. You came with a huge budget in 2015,
Yes.
And that was for people who voted for change. And I'd like to ask why, even after 10 years of the end of civil war, minorities in this country still face all various forms of discrimination. And what is this government done about that?
I think that many of the issues among the minorities have been resolved. All reports have been to that issue. I don't think it's otherwise. You look at the Human Rights Commission reports and others. And also the people are working together with each other. Now look at when this explosion took place, how all the religious leaders came out and said, look, let there be calm. You found the Venerable, the Mahanayakas issuing the statements. Then certainly the the senior Muslim ulemas and the ministers met with the Cardinal. Cardinal himself has asked, and I must say, yesterday night and on Sunday night and Monday night and today at the funerals, calm has prevailed in those areas. I think that shows the type of responsibility. The government will continue its policy of having unity in the country and of having religious groups getting together while cracking down on the global terrorism. I must tell you that. We'll crack down on global terrorists do not belong to any faith. They have their own interpretation of what their faith is, and we can't allow that. But there certainly has been a big improvement in the country's relations between the different communities and different religions. We just want to maintain it that way here.
Repercussions will there be for the people that failed to pass along this intelligence?
Well, once it comes down, we'll have to decide what we could do, but it has to be administrative and all, what they have done, what we have to. Some will have to be removed from their posts. So that's has to be.
And there are concerns that these emergency measures will be used to intimidate or harass minorities.
It's only on terrorism, and so far we have met with I met with all the the main party leaders in Parliament, including former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and Mr. Sambandhan. Those are question marks. Everyone wants this wiped out. And if there's any issue, they said they will raise it. We have members in the cabinet, Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslims.
There's further warnings on...
Why is it that a country that is faced with terrorism is now accused of persecuting its minorities? We have exact, very good relationship, and the relationship was shown in the last few days. It's being unfair by us.
Sorry, there are further warning on any further attacks. So what are the government doing about that?
No, we are trying to prevent any type of attacks. It may have been that they have planned a series of attacks, and police is working around the clock, and the armed forces to ensure it doesn't take place.
Mr. Wickramasinghe, how much have the tensions between yourself and President Sirisena come to play in the kind of safeguarding of information, each to his own, and not coming to everybody that needs to know?
Well, I am only not telling you certain things which they don't want me to disclose.
No, but what about the
I met the President, I spoke to the President the day it took place, and we agreed, we recommended the police curfew, the armed forces have come out, and we discussed this on Monday and decided to bring the emergency in for certain purposes, only limited purposes. We had a meeting and said, we have difference of opinion, but that's been thrashed out, and somehow, look, we've got to get the country out of this problem. Don't think we can start putting personal issues in front.
But your statement right after it happened said that as Prime Minister, you or no one in your cabinet had been
No, that wasn't that. Because this issue was raised anyway by some other Christians and others. Why wasn't the Minister of Christian Affairs involved? Why wasn't he informed? So I just dealt with that. I said, we have to look at there's a breakdown of security. That's why the President has appointed a committee. Then we also said that includes the ministers, including me, not being informed. But I said our priority is, while we inquire, our priority is to apprehend the offenders or the offenders and ensure that this group is caught and it doesn't spread. So priority is still in apprehending the offenders. Whatever we have, we'll have to discuss among ourselves and sort it out, that's all.
Your government said that 32 Sri Lankan Muslims went to join Islamic State in Syria back in 2016. Do you know, have they come back? Are they?
Yeah, they have been. Some of them have returned, and some were killed there. Some have returned, and the intelligence have been following them.
But are they suspects in this attack?
Well, they think one or two of them had been. Some of them have been out there, not all. All those are returned are not in that list here.
So can you explain why the government blocked WhatsApp and Facebook, and how long will those?
When we'll consider that tomorrow, as far as we are concerned.
Why did you block them? Can you please?
No, in the first day or so, to ensure that there was communal harmony. We went through this exercise earlier in Digana. We didn't want to take another chance.
Mr. Prime Minister, Smita Sharma from India, TV9 Bharatwaj. I'm sorry this question has already been repeated, but are you convinced with the claims that have been made by the Islamic State that they are behind these attacks? And do you see a direct link between the Jamaat organization that we are talking about and the ISIS?
We, certainly the security apparatus is of the view that there are foreign links, and some of the evidence points to that. So if when the ISIS claimed it, we'll be following up on this claim. There was suspicion that there were links with the ISIS.
Prime Minister Geeta Mohan from India today just wanted to know whether if there was prior intelligence shared with the Sri Lankan government from Indian authorities with regards to jihadi terrorism.
There has always been sharing of intelligence between our two countries in regard to terrorism.
Was there specific intelligence on this?
There was specific intelligence on this.
You've mentioned one group, National Tawhid Jamaat, but the State Minister for Defense mentioned another group that may have been involved.
That's also being investigated. That's what he repeated. There's some investigations are underway on this other group.
And what group is it?
Let the question stand as it is now.
Is it a local group or a foreign group, Prime Minister?
Can you give a sense of how big it is? How many numbers?
I lost my voice.
Like how
Maybe
many,
afterwards, yeah.
how many members are there in the Tawhid?
That's being looked into. It's not a large group, but still it's
He's a bit too
we are
relaxed,
concerned.
considering this.
It's not a large group, I said.
Okay. And the UK government has offered...
And there are peripheral members, and there are the ones who are the hardcore suicide bombers.
The UK government's offered assistance to Sri Lanka. Have you accepted that? Have you requested assistance from Britain?
Yeah, Britain said they were giving assistance. There were British citizens who were killed. So that team has come down here.
So is there any specific international assistance that you're looking at, even in terms of the Indian cooperation? The Prime Minister had a telephonic conversation.
We've been cooperating. That's why they gave us some very specific intelligence. The US, as you know, President Trump has also offered help down here. So there are some of the teams that are coming in here.
Why was more security not offered to churches ahead of this attack?
Pardon?
Why was there not more security at churches ahead of this attack?
This is what we are inquiring into. Some areas there were. Some areas the police were active and the security was there.
Did the President give you a reason for why he excluded you from national security meetings?
Pardon?
Did the President give a reason for why he excluded you from national security meetings?
Well, we have discussed that and let it rest at there and let's now work together.
But do you have a sense of responsibility? I mean, this attack has happened on your watch. The intelligence was there and it doesn't seem to have been acted on.
Now, this is why we have a committee to look into it, and Parliament is debating tomorrow who was responsible and what.
Prime Minister, this is Pranay Pathak from the ABP News Network of India. We are still getting reports that there are many active threats and live situations outside in Colombo and other parts of Sri Lanka. How serious is the threat as far as the present situation is concerned?
There are few people on the run, some are on the run, so we've got to apprehend them with the explosives.
How many people are on the run, sir? How many do you estimate?
No, I don't know.
Sri Lanka has seen deep ethnic divisions. Also, there have been incidents of violence between the Buddhists and the Muslims in this country. Post this scenario, how do you look at these differences and divisions playing out?
No, there has been tension, but there has not been any violence, so we've got to now ensure that the situation calms down. And if we are active and we take all the actions, I think that should, then calm will prevail.
How long do you expect that things will come back to normal?
And
How long do you think?
I wish it is very normal, very fast, but it will take a bit of time as we are making progress. That's all I could tell you. And also on the group, I must say, the first victim was one of our minister's secretaries who was shot at when we were investigating the whole issue of the Mavanal incident, where some Buddhist statues were broken, and then attacks made on a Kovil and a church in the Kandy side.
Mr. Prime Minister,
So I must say the vast majority of the Muslims condemn this, and they are as angry as the Sinhalese and the Tamils as to what has happened.
Mr. Prime Minister, we are also hearing that Indian High Commission as well as some of the Indian properties were also on target. Could you confirm this report?
Well, that was the information we had.
Was there any steps taken? Was there any steps taken with regards to the intelligence that was provided?
That's what we are going into, looking into.
There are also reports that a fourth hotel was a target in what may have been a failed attack. Can you confirm
Yes,
that?
that's the information. The fourth one failed, and that's why the man.
Which hotel was that fourth one, sir? Which hotel?
Why damage their prospects of people coming in?
Haven't they been damaged already?
I think this hospital hasn't. This hotel, so let it be.
But don't people have a right to know, sir?
Huh?
Shouldn't people know which of the other
No, we are
hotels?
taking the precaution, but let's finish the investigation, and that's the person who blew himself up in Dehiwala.
Professor, what do you think is the impact on the economy in the short
There
term?
will have, because tourism itself, and we are looking at, well, there may be some outflows.
Can you describe how you felt when you discovered that there was this intelligence that you hadn't seen? Did you feel angry? Did you feel shocked?
I was shocked when I heard about it first.
Sir, is this man Zehran on the run, or is he dead?
Huh?
Zehran, the man who did it. The man who was leading this group. Is he
Yeah.
dead, or is he on the run?
Well, we are verifying the dead bodies there. Well, he was supposed to have led the group that went into one of the hotels. I think the police is working on that, and he told me. So we have something.
Professor, how are things being done differently from the time that they had intelligence and didn't inform
Right,
us?
at least now everyone is moving and we are in touch with them. But there'll have to be certain restructurings done.
When will those kick in?
Well, first let's get them all moving, they're acting. So without disrupting what's happening, we've got to handle it.
Prime Minister, in addition to the specific intelligence that you said was available some time ago, Muslim leaders and community leaders have said that they have been in touch with Sri Lankan intelligence and tipping them off about this organization for at least 2 years now. So what was the response that was taken after you heard from the Muslim community?
No, this information was there, we had heard, it was conveyed and was getting processed. At one time there was no question of them going out. It seems to have been a breakaway group, and then it expanded into this.
But do you have confidence in your police and security chiefs, given what's happened? Do you have confidence in them to be able to prevent further attacks?
No, what has happened is a breakdown of communication. If it was available, these groups were in charge of anti-terrorism would have acted much faster, would have acted. There was a breakdown of communication there.
So would you like to see resignations as a result?
Huh?
Would you like to see resignations as a result, given that there was this breakdown of communication?
Pardon, I couldn't get a question.
Would you like people to resign? Should police chiefs...
Well,
should
that
security
some
chiefs resign?
changes have to be made. We have to do that.
Sorry?
We have to make some changes.
Given everything you've said today, sir, should tourists be coming to Sri Lanka at this time?
Well, at the moment, many tourists have left, understandably, but we will give the signal when we get the situations fully under control.
So you say they should wait for that signal before they come?
No, say they can come in. The resorts and all have been quite, we've been unaffected. You don't talk too much about it at the moment.
Do you have no information about more attacks? Is that something that you can share with us?
No, I haven't got any more idea. The possibility is there. That's why you have to apprehend them. They're on the run.
The police has issued a warning saying that there is a ban to the explosives going on. Is that correct?
That's correct. They are a van of explosives.
Do you fear that there are many more explosives out there that authorities have not?
Yes, some of them are out there. The police is now looking out for them. Yeah.
If you think there are other vehicles with explosives going around,
Well, they're looking at all the possibilities. They have not ruled anything out. At this moment, you shouldn't rule it out.
how do you show people that it's safe for them to get along their own business?
Well, we're all getting around. We've done that earlier. The first time we had explosions in this country.
Prime Minister, is there second intelligence from Indian sources about the next
Pardon?
another round of attacks?
Pardon?
Is there intelligence about another round of attacks from Indian intelligence or its agencies?
At the moment, we haven't. They're on the run, but we have to anticipate, be ready for this. That's why we're trying to apprehend all of them.
No, is there intelligence that India has shared that there could be another round of attacks?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Prime Minister, this group that JMI?
No, as I told you, that's under investigation, so let it be at that level.
What does JMI stand for?
And
What does JMI stand for? What does JMI stand for?
here,
JMI stand for it's only the acronym we have.
that's all they've got here.
So, Prime Minister, you believe that there could be more explosives out
I
there?
think, sir, we're trying to apprehend them before they explode. That so far we've been successful.
I'm sorry?
We are trying to apprehend them, people who are on the run. So far we've been successful in apprehending many of them. But
The people on the run, they're armed with explosives.
But
The people on the run, you said earlier, I think, that they're armed with explosives.
some of them are not the others.
Some of them are armed with explosives.
But they certainly won't be in the city. The safe houses are being looked at, identified. I cannot tell you everything.
More about those on the run. I mean, do you know?
I told you I can only tell you a limited amount of information.
Where was the safe house? Sorry, where was the safe house?
Sorry.
When was it identified?
They've been finding safe houses, but I'm saying can't give you any more information than that. If
But it
I,
was found today or yesterday or?
from the start of the investigation. Well, I think I've answered all, and we are just going around the mulberry bush. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
If I were in my position, you wouldn't have given even this amount of news.